Hello there. This teacher guide is about our Mindset Learn series of lessons on Introduction to Programming. In this guide, we tell you what the series of lessons is about and how it links to the curriculum. We also discuss ideas for using the lessons with your learners. You may want to make notes, so have pencil and paper ready. In this series, we introduce learners to the idea of solving problems by writing programs. There are 10 lessons in this series. In Lesson 1, we examine the differences between a high-level programming language, an assembly programming language, and machine language. In Lesson 2, we show how to download and install the Java Development Kit and introduce the integrated development environment called JGrasp. In Lessons 3 to 10, we demonstrate how learners can solve problems by writing programs using JGrasp. Each lesson seeks to focus on solving a particular problem which will increase in the level of difficulty. In this series, we address Learning Outcome 4, Programming and Software Development, and focus on the assessment standard that requires learners to design a simple user interface for a real activity of an informative nature. After watching and engaging with the lessons in this series, your learners should have a very good sense of how to solve problems using the JGrasp environment and should be able to apply their solution to other similar environments too. The learning outcome and assessment standards for each lesson are stated at the beginning of each video lesson in this series. In addition, lesson outcomes linked to these are also given for each lesson. In this series of lessons, we introduce two learners, Morwa and Gamu, and their tutor Murray. In each of the lessons, Murray demonstrates some of the principles of programming to the learners by presenting them with a particular problem. He then challenges them to work together to solve these problems themselves. The lessons show how Murray gives Morwa and Gamu guidance, allows them to ask questions and test their solutions throughout the problem-solving process. The success of these video lessons depends on the way you use them in your classroom. We suggest that you watch the lessons yourself as part of your planning. Decide which videos you will use and think about how to integrate them into your learning program. To get the full benefit of the lessons, your learners need to engage actively with the concepts presented. So when you preview the videos, think about how to introduce each lesson and what follow-up activities will be useful. Also, watch out for places in the video where you could pause to have a class discussion or ask learners to complete an activity or solve a problem posed in the video. You will also need to decide how you're going to show your learners the video lessons. For some lessons, you could show the video to the whole class. You can also use your computers for individual learners or groups of learners to watch the videos at their own pace. Assessment is an important part of teaching and learning, and the lessons provide opportunities for a range of different types of assessment. When you pause the video for learners to do an activity, you can assess their understanding of key ideas in the video and adjust your lesson plan if necessary. The task provided at the end of each lesson is always linked to at least one of the lesson outcomes and thus provides you with a useful assessment opportunity. To ensure your learners have mastered the techniques shown in the video, they will need additional problems to practice solving. Lesson 1 begins by introducing how programming languages have changed over time and how modern computers depend on high-level languages. We then identify the processes that take place when a program written in source code is loaded until the CPU executes the program. We also introduce learners to Java as an example of a high-level language and discuss the processes required for a program written in Java to be executed. Next, we explore how to write a program in Java and show the advantages of using an integrated development environment, also called an IDE. We begin Lesson 2 by showing how to download and install the Java Development Kit from the internet. In this series, we have chosen to work with the IDE known as JGrasp. We show how to download and install the program and the supporting documentation. Next, we take a careful look at the JGrasp interface and examine a simple program called Greetings in JGrasp Editor. We use this program to illustrate the process of compiling and running a program. In Lesson 3, we follow Morwa and Gamu as they write their own program in the JGrasp IDE. In the process, they learn about the structure and syntax required to write a useful Java program. The learners compile the code they've written and run the program, but Gamu finds some errors in his code. These errors are analyzed and corrected until the program runs as was planned. In Lesson 4, we explore the differences between procedure-oriented and object-oriented programming by taking a closer look at the Greetings program written in the previous lesson. We discuss what an object is, explain what a method is, identify a string, and also consider the concepts of a parameter and class. In Lesson 5, we introduce the idea of using arithmetic expressions in a program by writing a program that converts a temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. The learners compile and run the program and also make some changes so that the appearance of the out is different. Although the temperature conversion program is simple, it illustrates the use of expressions well. In this lesson, we return to this program to find a solution to the temperature conversion problem by introducing the concept of a variable. We also revise the concept of data types. In Lesson 7, we focus on the link between classes and objects and distinguish between primitive and reference variables. In Lesson 8, we return to the Greetings program and change it to make it more general by allowing the program to read input from the standard input stream. This means that input is required from the user via the keyboard to make the program run completely. In the final 2 lessons of this series, we focus on numbers and number formats. We return to the temperature conversion program and confirm the readings calculated in a table of values using the modified program. We also examine the triangle area program completed at the end of Lesson 3 and adapt it to make it more interactive. The program gives the correct answers, but the format of some of the numbers needs to be modified as they show many digits after the decimal comma. Morwa and Gamu are guided to find solutions to this problem by using the number formatter and methods from the maths class. There's a set of lesson notes and worksheets for this video series on our website. These notes give a summary of the key points of each lesson, the tasks and answers to the task and worksheets. You will also find teacher guidelines for this series as part of the print resources. In addition, there are interactive multimedia resources which you can use with your learners so that they can complete activities related to programming and software development. We hope that this teacher guide has given you a helpful overview of this series and will help you to use the mindset resources when introducing your learners to programming.